so the time has passed. When you're watching this video, it's gonna be past the pre-orders of the Apple Vision Pro, and I did not get it. I did not try to get it. I did not try to get a pre-order, and I have some reasoning on why I did not try to get this first generation of an Apple Vision Pro. The first thing I want to talk about is Apple's history. We've seen the iPhone, we've seen the Apple Watch, we've seen the iPad, and all of those first generations were a first generation. They were a way of getting the product out the door. It was a way of getting it in front of developers and ultimately figuring out bugs that the product had, bugs that developers could get into, and ultimately build an app store and an ecosystem within those products. I've had every first generation of an Apple product except for the iPhone, and the iPad the same thing, it was limited. The Apple Watch, same thing, was limited and real buggy. And until we get to the second, third, and fourth generation of these products, that's when we really start to see them grow in masses for not only Apple, but also the consumer. And as a tech reviewer, it might sound crazy that I'm not trying to get the Apple Vision Pro right off the bat. And I think it's crazy too. Every time I see a rumor about it, every time I see news about it, every time I see someone with it in a picture, I always ask myself why I'm not getting it. And at the end of the day, I do want it, but there has to be some justification on why I'm not buying it. One is price. $3,500 for a first generation of a product is really steep. That's a new computer. That is a body and a lens. That is something for this studio that I could benefit a lot more for my channel. And ultimately, I don't think it's fair to get this product, review it, and then talk about it. I feel like it's something I need to live with for a lot of time since it is such a new product. And ultimately, I don't know how to tell a review in a VR world, and it's not something I've totally jumped into yet, that being a VR and AR world. So I don't think it's fair as someone who reviews stuff to ultimately talk about it right away. I'm gonna need to spend a lot of time with it. If I were to get it, the second I get it, I'd be deep into it and deep in trying to learn it and figure out what it does. And I just don't think there's a place where I can confidently talk about the product. There is some exciting things towards it. It'll move sort of creating and content creating in a different realm with the 3D videos it has to offer, with the dimensions it's gonna have, with the way of viewing experience of content is gonna go. If it's from YouTube, it's from movies. It becomes a new way of being able to create content. And that's something I'm really excited for the future, is to see how we are able as content creators to create content for this specific thing. We saw it early when it started with making 16:9 videos for YouTube that you'd play on your phone. And then it turned into your phone being a vertical way of watching content. And that's when vertical content came together. So it's gonna be exciting to adjust to these times and figure out how we can make content for yet another platform. And then the future of the Apple Vision Pro. I'm real excited for the future of this thing because I'm excited to see this thing grow over generations. With 80,000 of these being shipped in that initial ship date and that in the US at that initial time, it's gonna be real interesting who gets their hands on them. And my bet it's gonna be a lot of tech reviewers, it's gonna be a lot of developers, and that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited for the developers to get their hands on this product and really figure it out and figure out the bugs and respond back to Apple with what those bugs are and really use this as a test system, as a beta, to make the version 2 a lot better and being able to manufacture and scale it at a higher rate and make it more affordable to the mass public. And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited for the growth of that. I'm excited to go through this first generation, and I'm gonna be in the Apple store. I'm gonna be trying this thing out, getting a demo and all of those things. And I think that's gonna be enough for me to at least share my experiences on if it's heavy, if it's cool, if it's all of those things, and then be able to get excited for the next generation of this thing to come out and really start talking about it and dipping my hands into the AR, VR world. But with that, this wasn't a beautiful video. This was just me turning on my camera, hitting record, and talking about my thoughts on the newest product that's gonna come out from Apple that has been hyped up for years, and it's just around the corner. And I'm excited to try this thing out. I'm excited to demo it in the Apple store, and I'm excited to see what creators are able to do with this thing. So with that, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.